Jacqueline, and I am currently 4 months pregnant. I am keeping my pregnancy a secret from my mom, my stepdad, and my coworkers. Jackie.
This is about Jackie. She's 40 years old and she has 2 daughters, and she's pregnant by a 19-year-old. I wasn't sure how they met, so I replayed it. So they met at a bar. She was with her friend, they met at a bar. She knew how old he was, and I guess she thought it was a good idea to entertain it, but to me that's just crazy. Why would you want to date, let alone have a baby by a 19-year-old? And the very fact that he was 19 at a bar, I guess his parents were supervising him or looking out for him. I think it's just so sad how, basically she used him. She got what she wanted, she used him. You can see throughout the episode how she speaks to him like he was a little boy. But if you enjoyed this clip, please like, share, comment, and follow. It's called Secretly Pregnant. It's on Discovery Plus, and you can also find this episode on TLC. It's season 1, and it's about Jackie and Jeremy. She's 40 years old, and he's 19 years old, and they met at a bar.
I met Jeremy at a bar where my best friend was working. One thing led to another, and I became pregnant.
So that was Jackie and Jeremy. So Jackie, she's 40 years old, and she's pregnant by Jeremy. Jeremy is 19 years old, and she said that she met him at a bar. I'm not sure how old he was. I'm not sure if he was underage or if he was like 18. But either way, him being at a bar where adults drink alcohol, you have to be 21 and up, is crazy. I wonder if he lied about his age or if he was honest. But either way, he looks young. At the time, of the filming of the show, to me, he looked like a minor. Although he was tall, you can tell that he was very young and that he was a teenager. So for her to still try to pursue their relationship, let alone get pregnant, and then she said that she moved him in the home with her and her 2 daughters, which is crazy. So, is this coming across kind of predatory? But if you enjoyed this clip, please like, share, comment, and follow. It's called Secretly Pregnant. You can find it on TLC and Discovery Plus.
I'm 100% ready to be a father. I'm actually pretty excited, and I want to be the best father I can be.
Jeremy moved in with Shay, Danielle, and myself.
In this clip, she was upset because her car door was broken, and he said, "I didn't do it." And she was constantly blaming him. I think she was looking for arguments, something to argue about. And she basically asked him, "What are you going to do to help out with household expenses?" And he says, "I give you my whole check." And it seems like it's not enough. For her to be a 40-year-old grown woman, to expect this man to pay for all her bills is just crazy to me. I believe she did prey on him. Who's to say, how old he was when they actually met? She claimed he was 18, but who's to say if he was underage? But either way, I feel like it's inappropriate for a 40-year-old woman to get with a teenager, let alone get pregnant by a teenager, and you have 2 kids who are close to his age. And the way that she spoke to him was absolutely disgusting. But if you enjoyed this clip, please like, share, comment, and follow, and tell me what you think. Thank you.
Can you tell me when the baby comes out after all this? If you want to be with me or not, don't push me, baby. Do you love somebody else, man? Are you serious?
I don't love anybody else, but I certainly don't love you.
I'm dating this guy named Jeremy at her job. I believe at the time he was only 18 years old. When she got pregnant by him, he was 19. So to me, she's like a predator. Throughout the episode, she spoke to him with disrespect. She spoke to him like a child. He's old enough to be her son. So for her to feel that she can treat somebody like that is just absolutely heartbreaking. I'm not sure if he had family, but for her to basically go after this young man was just absolutely disgusting. This is called Secretly Pregnant. It's season 1. You can find this episode on Discovery Plus or TLC. And I believe her daughters are like around 13 or 9, so they're close to his age. So to me, she doesn't have discernment, and to me, he sounded more mature than she did. Please like, share, comment, and follow for more content. The show is called Secretly Pregnant. It's season 1 on Discovery Plus. You can also find it on TLC, and you can also find it on Hulu.
At 4.5 months pregnant, Jackie refuses to tell
tell her parents and colleagues that she is carrying the baby of a 19-year-old.
What are you going to do to help out for household expenses?
I give up my whole check, Jackie. I don't need no money. I'll give it all up.
You don't need any money. To cut to the chase with my news. You haven't noticed? No. Sorry for the restaurant, but... Oh my God, no. Yes.
In this clip, she tells her boss that she's pregnant. She was the one who got Jeremy hired at the job. The boss, I guess, suspected that those two were dating, and she probably already knew that Jackie was pregnant. She's probably just waiting for her to tell her. But the very fact that she took her boss on national TV to basically expose the fact that she's pregnant is just comical, and it speaks to her, lack of thinking. Because why would you think that's okay? And she even looked uncomfortable. The boss looked disgusted by her. For her to be a grown woman to sleep with a 19-year-old, it's just disgusting. And I think she did it because she was afraid that her boss was going to fire her. The boss didn't fire her, at least not on camera. However, yeah, that was just so unprofessional. But if you enjoyed this clip, please like, share, comment, and follow. It's called Secretly Pregnant. It's season 1. You can find it on TLC or Discovery Plus.
Her life has taken an unexpected turn.
Jeremy was fired from his job. He started getting into problems at work.
Self in jail on breaking and entering charges.
My entire work knows because this was in the paper.
So this is Secretly Pregnant. This is season 1. This episode is of Jackie. She is a 40-year-old woman, and she's pregnant by a 19-year-old. She already has 2 kids, 2 daughters by a different man. However, I'm not sure how she met Jeremy. However, she got him a job at her job. He ended up getting fired because he committed a crime from armed robbery and breaking and entering. And she's pregnant, and she fears that she may have to raise a child by herself because he got himself locked up. She spoke to him with disrespect throughout the video, basically telling him how he's going to pay for household expenses. And he said, I'm giving you my check, and it seems like it's not enough. So he was contributing, but I guess she expected him to pay all the bills. I'm not sure exactly what she expects from a 19-year-old. He's old enough to be her son. To me, she's not logically thinking, and she said that she was embarrassed when he got locked up because it was in the papers, but you weren't embarrassed to be seen or to be dating a 19-year-old and to get pregnant with a 19-year-old. To me, that's not logical thinking, and it doesn't make any sense. And I do feel like she's like a predator. But if you enjoyed this clip, please like, share, comment, and follow. It's called Secretly Pregnant. It's on Discovery Plus, or you can find it on TLC.
I have some news.
What? You're pregnant?
How did you guess that?
No.
Are you serious? Yeah, why would you guess that?
I thought it was going to be something that wasn't.
I am. You guys are so lame. Look at this.
She is pregnant by a 19-year-old boy. His name is Jeremy. And she finally tells her parents that she's pregnant. They already knew because Jeremy had posted it on Facebook that he was expecting a child with Jackie. So they weren't shocked. Their reaction was that they already knew. And I probably think that they already know their daughter, especially how she is and how, I guess, probably her character. So they weren't shocked that she was pregnant. It wasn't really a big deal. And she doesn't rely on them financially or live with them. However, I do find it weird that she's dating and pregnant by a 19-year-old child, basically. Well, he's not a child, but a 19-year-old, a teenager. This was shot in 2010 and 2011, so I'm pretty sure Jeremy has to be around probably 32 or 33 years old, and she may be in her late 50s or maybe early 60s now. If you enjoyed this clip, please like, share, comment, and follow. It's called Secretly Pregnant. You can find it on TLC or Discovery Plus.
The age difference is almost astronomical. More often than not, I am annoyed with Jeremy. and we fight a lot. My daughters are accepting to Jeremy. Oh my God. Yeah.
Jackie is a 40-year-old woman who's pregnant by a 19-year-old. She met this guy at the bar and they started dating. She got him a job at her job, and she got pregnant by him. She is afraid to tell her parents and her boss because of what they might think. Her daughters, one of her daughters is okay of the relationship. The 13-year-old is not okay with it because of the financial issues that it may come along with. I feel like the 13-year-old is very close to Jeremy's age, and the very fact that she has a 19-year-old boyfriend in the house is very inappropriate, and her daughters are just seeing dysfunction in the home. I do feel bad for her daughters because their mother makes irresponsible decisions. If you enjoyed this clip, please like, share, comment, and follow. It's called Secretly Pregnant. It's season 1. It's on Discovery Plus, and you can also find it on TLC.
Jackie could give birth at any moment, and Jeremy is still behind bars. She has no intention of telling her mother, especially before the baby is born.
Let's look at Bibles.
My mom has not been at the hospital for the birth of any of my.
Jackie is a 40-year-old woman. She has 2 daughters. One is 13, one is 9 years old, and she's pregnant again. However, she's pregnant this time by a 19-year-old. She met him at a bar, and she decided to date him even though he was a teenager. She dated him, and she ended up pregnant. She also got him a job at her workplace, and she moved him into her home with her and her 2 daughters. She was afraid to tell her parents and her boss because she was afraid of what they might think or what they might say. Throughout the episode, she spoke to him with disrespect, and she told him that she didn't love him no more. It seemed like she was embarrassed that she got pregnant by a 19-year-old, and she knew that she made a wrong decision. He also got arrested for burglary, and I believe he did it to, I guess, provide more money for her because she constantly complained about him not having enough money. Even though he gave her his whole check, it was never enough for her. And she's keeping the fact that he went to jail and that he lost his job a secret, and she's also keeping his age a secret from her parents. Even though she knows that she's pregnant, she's keeping it a secret because she's embarrassed and she knows what she did was wrong. If you enjoyed this clip, please like, share, comment, and follow. It's called Secretly Pregnant. It's season 1, and you can find it on Discovery Plus or TLC.
I made a stupid decision and it sucks being in jail. I was a little worried that I wasn't going to be able to see my daughter be born. Jade's here. It's going to be great.
Jackie, she's a 40-year-old woman, and she has 2 kids, and she got pregnant by Jeremy. He's 19 years old. Jeremy got arrested for a burglary, and he was in jail, and she feared that he wouldn't make it in time to see her and the baby. However, she ends up bailing him out. He does get to see his child, and he stated how he wants to change his life around and get a job and provide for her and his family or the child. At the end, it stated that they were still together, and that I guess he was still working out his legal issues. However, after the show, they end up breaking up. I believe they have one more child. They have 2. So I think altogether she has 5 children. She has 4 girls, and she has 1 boy. And I believe she got remarried to a guy around her age. And Jeremy, he ends up getting with another woman named Tamika. She looks to be older too, so I guess it's into older women, and she kind of looks similar to Jackie, so I guess he has a type. And after that, he had some more legal troubles, and he was in and out of prison. I think now he's probably like around 33 years old, and Jackie's probably her late 50s, or she may be like 60 years old. But if you enjoyed this clip, please like, share, comment, and follow. Tell me what you think. I think of the episode that Jackie, she was embarrassed that she got pregnant by this young boy, teenager, and he was old enough to be her son. And instead of her taking accountability, she stated that she wished she would have kept it a secret. Instead of keeping it a secret, if you have to keep something a secret, then you should know that it should have never happened. You shouldn't have to keep a relationship a secret from your family and your friends. But if you enjoyed this clip, please like, share, comment, and follow. It's called Secretly Pregnant, and you can find this episode on Discovery Plus or TLC.